In this video, I would like to talk about the future of sim racing, specifically about the year 2024, because I think next year will be one of the best years for sim racing. And in this video, I will try to explain you why I think so. So I would like to say that I do sim racing for almost 20 years now. Actually, next year is gonna be 20 years. I started 2004 with Live for Speed, getting my first wheel in 2005 and doing Air Factor 1 and so on. Obviously on and off, but you can easily say that I'm doing sim racing almost my whole life, or more than half of my life. And, oh god. And I must say, I have never been so excited as for the next year so far, because there's so many things that are going to be coming and I'm very excited about. Let's start basically from the beginning of the year. We will start in January already getting a GT2 update for ACC Competition. Now, it's going to be around 7 cars of like Brabham, KTM, Mercedes, Porsche, and so on. And I'm actually very looking forward for this update because, important to say, GT4 and some other classes in ACC are not very popular. But it's very easy to say because there's a lot of multiclass races and they are amazing. But there's also the reason why GT4 is not that popular, and it's because of the BOP. The BOP is really bad. Let's say that way. It's trashy, and it got destroyed by the last updates from ACC, making Alpine insanely OP on most of the tracks and so on. But luckily, LFM is already working on custom BOP, which might help a bit. Nonetheless, I think the GT2 will be very interesting because not only we can already look forward for having like a community custom BOP, which will make it probably better than actually Kunos, let's be honest. And the cars are very excited as well. They are basically almost unrestricted GT3 cars with less downforce. It's like more powerful car with less downforce. So the cars will be faster on the straights, a little bit slower in the corners, but the lap times will be very similar. And I think they will be very good, specifically because in the spring 2024, ACC Competition is getting one of the most anticipated updates since beginning of the game, which is Nürburgring Nordschleife. And I'm personally so excited about the track, I cannot wait. It's obviously massive, amazing, long and difficult racetrack, very challenging. For sprint racing, it might be very difficult. Like, I can imagine driving like a low fuel motorsport 2-3 lap race. It's gonna be very hard. You will have to be very patient. But I think this track will actually teach a lot of people being patient and being careful, And specifically for endurance and like multiclass, that's gonna be fantastic. And that's where I think the GT2 will be really good connection, like GT2, GT4, and BMW M2 and Porsche Cup Multiclass on Nordschleife, I think will be fantastic. And I think the GT2s personally will have a nice place in ACC Competition. Obviously, all depending if developers will do a good job and it will have a nice physics. If it will have a weird physics like the Ferrari Challenge, which really, the car is just weird. Then and the Porsche Cup suspension, like what the hell is that? So yeah, we'll see. Because like from all the cars in ACC, I would say the GT4 are the most well made, but unfortunately the BOP is the worst. So let's see what the GT2 will bring. So that's around January. Then already spring 2024, we have the Nordschleife for ACC. And then we will see what's going to happen with this game. But also in February so far, it was supposed to be this December, but February so far is confirmed game that I don't know if I'm excited about, or I'm like excited, but at the same time not very excited, because I'm talking about Le Mans Ultimate. Le Mans Ultimate is from Studio 397, Motorsport games, and I don't know much about the game itself, but it looks like a base of Air Factor 2, looking very good, polished and everything. But I have so many like what can go wrong and what can be good. It's gonna be basically World Endurance Championship official game. It's gonna have like Brazil, Le Mans, and so on. And I'm personally looking very forward because you have like Ferrari 499, the hybrid cars, you have the GT cars and so on, which sounds really awesome. And on the videos and the pictures they so far showed, the Peugeot and so on, looks amazing. But at the same time, there's already like questions like how it's gonna perform overall, and also is this also like is like a motorsport games or is it no motorsport games? Is it 397 only? Like there's a lot of questions in terms of like popularity there as well. But I'm personally very excited to try the game. I'm very looking forward to the game to release and try it and see how it's gonna be. Because my wish list basically is to have like a World Endurance Championship official game, very well made with good physics. So far on the videos, what they showed, for example, on Monza with 499, the car looks very good, really good sound. Even the movement of the car looks very good. So I would say the physics will be like similar to Air Factor 2 or maybe Air Factor 2 physics. But it looks good, you know? But I really hope it will have like a stable multiplayer in terms of driver swap for endurance races and such. Because if the game will have like the World Endurance Championship cars and it will have a good driver swap, it could be good addition to the all other like sim racing games. But I guess we will have to wait for that. So personally, I'm like looking forward, but at the same time, I'm like, maybe I will try it and maybe I will never touch it again. Or maybe I will love it and play it a lot. So I think it's about February 2024. So that's going to be a nice beginning of the year, right? Like ACC update, new game, Nordschleife, and so on. At the same time, obviously, we have iRacing. iRacing doing amazing updates for a couple of years, you know, getting the newest cars, getting the amazing tracks. And for several years now, they are developing a rain into iRacing as well. And it has been very anticipated for a couple of years now, let's be honest. And specifically in 2023, everybody really was hoping that we will get at least like a test of the rain or something like that. And I think it was supposed to deliver in December or like end of the year. But unfortunately, they need more time to develop some stuff. So it got postponed. If I read correctly, it also is going to be like, you will not have like a rain to all the time and all the cars and everything. They will be adding the rain just, I feel like somebody said to me, it's going to be like a Ferrari challenge. And then it's going to be some other cars and then more and more and more. It's kind of weird, but I don't know. It is what it is. Maybe I'm wrong in this. Maybe in the comments, let me know how do you think it's going to be. But I don't mind it. It's good that they are working on it. It's good that they are giving info. And I'm very excited, for example, because in the game already you can see there's a weather radar, for example, and it's going to be like Gran Turismo weather radar, which is one of the like amazing one, you know, for the weather conditions, wet weather conditions. So I'm very excited about that. I'm curious when we will have the first glimpse. I would say it's going to be in Q1, maybe Q2 2024, that we'll finally be able to try the rain. And I'm personally very excited because I like iRacing. I played since 2008, like on and off. And I don't very like the tire model overall in some of the places and some of the cars, and the netcode specifically. But I'm very curious how they will manage to take their tire model and connect it with the wet weather. I'm very curious how it's going to all come together, you know. And I'm personally I love rain, you know, so I'm super excited. But my anticipation and my excitement is really high because I used to race in race cars and I know how the wet weather and such feels and the wet line and stuff like that, you know. And I have such a high expectations for the iRacing rain that I'm really afraid how is it gonna be, you know, like how to explain it properly. Because they're developing for so long and so much compared to some other games that just drop rain and it works kinda, you know. But I'm really what I want from iRacing Rain is to be like a weather radar, which is gonna be like a random rain coming at the track in the specific places on the track. And at the same time, having a wet lines. I want a proper, realistic wet lines, you know, not what we have, like ACC doesn't have it. In ACC, if you are off the line, there's no grip. If you are in a racing line, there's grip, which is basically opposite of the real life. And even though a lot of people are telling me that other games have it, like Air Factor, Automobilista, and so on, no, they don't. Trust me, they don't. You know, I want like a real wet weather, you know, like a proper wet lines and such. But we'll see. So that's about iRacing. So I think it's already like a very exciting moments. Basically, hopefully in the first half of the year. Then at the same time, we have obviously Rensport happening. Rensport is like, you can take it as you want. Rensport being developed, and they have a big esport competition for many thousands of dollars, and doing like a very interesting competition. I really like the esport part of the Rensport, but I don't very like the development part of the Rensport. I like watching the esport, and I like that the esport drivers are racing for lots of money in, and it's very well made. You know, obviously there's a lot of funding into it, and it looks very cool. But I'm not very liking how the development side of the Rensport works, because I would rather like so how they do it basically. They have like they did a closed beta, right, and they are giving away keys, and they are giving away keys like it's a free game or something, and they are like, hey, there's a giveaway here and giveaway here and giveaway here, but it's just the keys, you know. And what I don't like about it, it's very close beta, so the game is like looks very far from development, or from release, sorry, very far from release, and there is basically not much overall happening, and whatever you try, it feels like it's like half done, you know, it's not like fully made. And I don't really personally, this is my personal opinion though, I don't personally very like it. I would prefer if they would be doing their esport part, and we would be watching that, we'd be like, wow, this is really cool, you know, nice racing, great racing, by the way, great racing, I give them that, the racing is amazing, very competitive, hardcore for lots of money. But I don't like how the beta part is, because I would rather have like almost done, like I would rather be to have one track, one car, and I would be like, guys, this is 100% representative how the Rensport will be, or how it's gonna look in a final model when everything is done. And it would be like amazing sound, great physics, or good physics, or whatever physics, a great visual, great performance, and great track. And it would be like, wow, this is looking pretty good, you know, I can look forward for this. But now when you try the car that has like no sound made yet properly, or is getting updated all the time, and the physics is what it is, I kind of like the physics. Like, it's not the greatest, it's not the worst, you know, it's somewhere between. I like it, it's enjoyable, but it's like this car is not made done whole, the track is not made done, you know, the sound is not done, this is not done, the performance is there. It's like over the place. So I would rather, instead of them like doing all the giveaways about the closed beta all the time, I would rather them to focus on something and like properly release it. If you guys remember, for example, Assetto Corsa 1, they had a demo, which was like, I don't know, a year or half a year before the actual game release, and it was one car and Magione, like one Lotus or Magione, and it was amazing. It was great. You jump in a car, it was fantastic, you know, you knew exactly how the game will be, and then the game released, it was exactly like that, you know. So I would really like if Rensport would go more like this, because I feel like I just read it on the Discord, you know, when I go online, there's a lot of people who are like, you know, I just downloaded Rensport, it's just, you know, it's not even made or anything. So you can see like a lot of more negativity than positivity about it, because people just like, you know, like, obviously it's great if you give people the half product or the product to try for free, and they can see how the development is looking, but at the same time, I think it kind of hurts, you know. Because I just don't agree how they are approaching this, you know, because they are giving the closed beta like it's a giveaway or something, and what is the point so far? What is the point, you know? Like, I want to drive like one car on one track and being 100% representative and be like, damn, this is pretty damn good, you know, and looking forward for the rest, but not like trying one car with no sound almost and so on, you know. So I'm very curious. The reason I'm curious, because obviously it's the next year, the Rensport is going to be developing for another, I don't know, 2 years, and the next year we're gonna see more development and more future of the Rensport. So, sorry, I didn't want to like talk about the beta and such for the last 5 minutes, but I just wanna say that I'm looking forward for Rensport itself, how they're gonna go further for next year, and what more we're gonna see, you know? Because so far we have seen like, I think 5 or 6 tracks. I did like the original tracks, like Hockenheim and Nürburgring, but I really didn't like the look of like Daytona and Road Atlanta. Specifically Road Atlanta, I did not like. It looked like a modded track, not like an actual track, you know? and the cars as they are, you know. So I'm looking forward for next year for more cars, because I think there's gonna be like a LMDH prototypes, you know, the Porsche and such. So I'm looking forward how that is gonna look for next year, and more tracks and more stuff. I hope for Nordschleife as well and stuff like that. Then there is a massive obvious, which I don't even probably need to talk about. I obviously don't know if it's like 100% confirmed. I just read it on the internet. It was like a press media. Assetto Corsa 2. I think everyone is excited. I think everyone is excited about Assetto Corsa 2. We don't know much about it. We haven't seen anything out of it. We just rumors, you know, rumors. But I saw like a press media which was written that the early access, it was official, like a media from the official Assetto, and it was that in 2024 summer, Assetto Corsa 2 should have early access. So I feel like the next year, half a year, is already looking pretty awesome, guys, in terms of sim racing. And I'm very looking for, like, I'm having massive hopes for Assetto Corsa 2. I think one of the most important things that Assetto Corsa 2, it will not be on Unreal Engine like ACC is, but it will be Kunos engine, which basically is Assetto Corsa 1. But I assume that it's gonna be, I would basically say I want to have Assetto Corsa 1 copy-paste with all the mods already in it, you know, like the graphics, soul and such, looking extremely awesome. And I'm having like a part of like a ACC physics and stuff like that. Like basically like AC1 and ACC together. And I really hope for like a really good netcode for multiplayer. That's probably the most important thing for me always in a sim racing. Like that's why I really like ACC, because the netcode is awesome. Even when the people are from Brazil and Australia and so on, you can really race with them very nicely compared to iRacing, where the netcode is also good, but the cars are doing like a weird movement, which I don't like. RaceRoom as well, you know, and Air Factor as well. But I really have a big hopes for AC2 with this. Very good netcode. I hope for good driver swap, like good settings for driver swapping and everything, because the endurance racing is just so awesome. And then obviously I really hope that all will be all together, obviously modded as well for the future, Nordschleife and all stuff like that. So I think overall, Assetto Corsa 2 is like probably the most highest anticipated thing for me next second, after Nordschleife for ACC, is the second most anticipated thing for me in terms of sim racing. And if the early access will literally happen next year, I think it's going to be fantastic. I think people were saying that it's supposed to be released in 2024, but I don't believe that. But if early access happens in 2024, I'm very excited about, because I remember Assetto Corsa 1 when they released the early access or the demo or whatever that was with the Lotus on Magione. It was amazing. I was so excited about the game releasing. And I think the AC2 will be very exciting as well, because I talked to Marco Massaruto a year ago at Spa, and I was like asking him about Assetto Corsa 2, and he was like, hey, what do you want from the game? And I basically told him like, I want modding, I want basically AC1 with better graphics and better like environment overall for multiplayer and such. I want Nordschleife, I want driver swap and such. And he was just basically doing this like, yes, like we will have this, you know. So I really believe that Kunos will do a very good job with AC2, and I'm really excited about it. Because obviously Assetto Corsa 1 is fantastic, it's the most popular sim by far, because of all the modding and everything, because the modding community is amazing. And I think it's gonna be even better in AC2, I hope. I hope it's going to be even better in AC2. And what is your excitement, guys? Or what is your look forward for Assetto Corsa 2 or other sims for the 2024? Let me know in the comments, by the way, if you agree what I'm saying, jibber-jabbing here, and let me know. There's also a last one I would like to talk about. The game is called GTR Revival, and it's currently being developed by like Ian Bell in his studio, who is responsible for Project Cars 1, 2, and 3. And obviously, this is like it's the people who were responsible also partially for the GTR game. And we obviously know that GTR 3 is not happening. That got cancelled, the game. And now we have the GTR Revival, which looks pretty interesting so far on the paper. We have seen from Ian Bell, he was sharing a lot of pictures from the GTR Revival on Twitter, and it looks amazing. Visually, it looks amazing. Like there's like a Lister Storm, they have a Ferrari 550, they have obviously the new cars like Ferrari 296. They were showing some little very early access glimpse of how the physics looks on Sebring and Interlagos. And obviously I have personally, like, obviously I know Project Cars 1, Project Cars 2 and Project Cars 3. And obviously I played GTR 1, GTR 2, and like I have no idea how to put this game into all together. I don't know what is the expectations. I think I think I've read it. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I remember wrong, but I remember I was very excited, and then I read somewhere that they want to be better than Forza, and I was like, oh god. You know, so it's gonna be Forza type of game. I have no idea, but visually, I think visually so far what they showed, I would say it looks like a sim. Like the physics and so on, like it's obviously very early access. Who knows when it's gonna release? But I wonder like what this game want to bring to the market, you know? Because if you will have next year in 2024 Assetto Corsa 2, then you have a Rensport being developed as well, and basically this game looks like AC2 or Rensport at the same time. So like I really wonder what they actually wanna achieve or what is their target. So if they are the same, then I have no idea what they want to be like competing with, you know. But I'm very excited because visually I love Lister Storm. It's my most favorite car ever because I grew up with these GT1 cars, and I have like there's a lot of question marks and such for me, you know, like but it's good to know. It's good to know there is another game being developed, and it might be a good interesting future for the sim racing. And I think in 2024 we will see much more of this game and maybe even some playable demo already. And it makes me exciting, guys, because I feel personally, the more competition, the better. I personally think that, for example, when Assetto Corsa Competition released, I noticed a pattern where iRacing started improving a lot. iRacing managed to do like a better tire model, improve the tire model. They released way more tracks and way more cars. So the competition in a sim racing, I think, is very important, you know, because the sim racing market, like, there's not millions of sim racers. It's probably like millions of sim racers, maybe, but like they're everywhere, you know. The sim racing itself is very small, you know, so the market is very small as well. So I feel like the better competition, the better, because I really want to see the sim racing going better and bigger and up, you know, because I'm not getting any younger, you know what I mean? I want to play some good games. No, so yeah, guys, what do you think about my list for 2024? I think this is the reason why I'm so excited about the next year, because already at the beginning of the year, so many updates, so many things, and I'm very looking forward. I hope I haven't forgot anything. We obviously will have updates for Automobilista 2. There might be obviously updates for Factor 2 and some other games as well. So apology if I forgot about someone. RaceRoom, by the way, got a new physics update, very changing the game in December. And I would really hope, guys, I have a big hopes for RaceRoom, because I like that game. We don't play the game too much, but we like the game, and I really think that and hope that RaceRoom, like, I can imagine RaceRoom suddenly would have like an Unreal Engine. I think the game would be amazing. You know, it would be great competition. It has so much content and so on. Or if they would like just upgrade the physics, or not this physics, but graphics overall, I think it would be very good competitor for other sims out there, specifically ACC as well, and maybe even iRacing and such, because like they have like so much content. So we'll see, guys. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, guys. I'm very excited about 2024. If you're watching this on the holidays, happy holidays, guys. Thank you so much for subscribing and leaving like, and see you next time. If I forgot any sim or any game that you're also excited about, let me know in the comments, guys. I obviously haven't talked about Rally, you know, WRC game. I expect more updates for next year, you know, more challenges and more like updates and so on. And obviously haven't talked about Richard Burns Rally, which is just fantastic overall. We can't say probably about anything about it. All constantly getting modded and so on. And such, yeah. So if you have any tips, any ideas, guys, let me know in the comments. Thank you very much.